I mean, this is what I want to do. I'm kind of the old guy at the office, and I don't ever see myself stopping. It's one of those things where this is what I do. I mean, it's literally become a part of what I do, and I wouldn't say it's my identity, but it is absolutely something that I wake up so happy to get to do each and every day, and get to work with the people I get to work with, and
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Bursey, and today I'm joined by someone I've really been looking forward to chatting with, Sam Morris, who's been making serious moves in the multifamily and self-storage investment space. Sam is a partner at LSCRE, where his main focus is on acquisition, asset management, and investor relations. He has over 20 years of experience in the real estate space and has helped lead more than $800 million in commercial real estate transactions. Sam specializes in multifamily investing and building strong relationships with investors to grow successful real estate portfolios. Sam, welcome to the show.
hey, Scott, great to be here, man. So glad we could talk today.
Yes, me as well. I think our audience is really going to take something away from the way you've been able to combine institutional banking discipline with boots on the ground real estate execution. Sam, let's dive in, shall we?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's go for it.
So first off, for people who may not be familiar with your world, give us the short version. What's been your main focus here recently?
Yeah, my main focus as partner at LSCRE is we look to acquire what I would say is kind of that mid to larger range apartments, really strictly here in the state of Texas. We're in that, call it that 30 to $70 million box, which really pushes us truly to the primary markets. But we're all about location of the deal, and then running that deal in an operational excellent way, and then really getting great returns for our investors.
Love it. What caught my attention about you was the way you've been able to pivot from boardroom to the job site without losing an ounce of that institutional precision. That's not easy, especially in this climate. What's been the key to keeping your machine running smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, it's team. We have a great team around us at LSCRE. We have, there's really over 200 employees in our group. Obviously, the bulk of those people are our on-site staff. But really, when I tell people, whenever you look at a deal, there's so many things that you got to think about and look at. But really, I really just have three people in mind when I'm looking at a deal. And really, it goes with the resident. So the person who's actually going to be living on site, right? Because, you got to take care of them because they're the ones who pay the rent, which helps you pay for everything. The manager, meaning the person sitting in the chair, right? Because that's the person who's actually going to be executing the business plan that you put together, right? And you're giving that person typically a multi-million-dollar business to go run. So that's got to be somebody you have high trust with, that you're going to be supporting and figuring out, ways that that person could be successful so that the overall group can be successful. And then obviously our investor. right? What does it look like for our investor?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
How transparent are you being with them? How often are you updating them? Are they getting adequate financials? Really, a lot of investors just love our monthly distributions that we do. They like to get that mailbox money, as us old timers used to call it, but it's now ACH directly in their account. Really, that's what tells them, all right, we got consistent cash flow coming in, and so that gives them the sense of the health of the business that they've invested in.
Are you covering the whole state of Texas, Sam?
We do, but because of our buy box, like I said, it really pushes us more into those primary markets. And so, think Houston and Dallas, San Antonio, even Austin, although I would tell you Austin's in carnage. We probably wouldn't, we're not looking to buy anything there right now. But we have great knowledge of the state and what goes on, and we look at every deal that's in our buy box for the entire state. And I will tell you, there's a couple markets that we're looking outside of Texas, but we're still learning them, and it takes a while to actually learn a market. And so we've been looking at the Phoenix market now for probably almost 2 years, almost but it's taking us that long really to actually learn the market. We haven't acquired anything. We've toured a lot of assets there, but you know
Mm.
it's still kind of like an Austin right now too with its supply, and so we're just not ready to pull the trigger just yet on anything there. And we have another market that we haven't been talking about, but that we're still learning about, that's outside of the state. And really, it has to do with where we have knowledge gap. We're just not ready to pull the trigger yet, so it takes us a while. We're kind of slow to move in that point, but we do know Texas really well, and we're still adamant about Houston and Dallas and looking in those areas, trying to find more assets.
Now, every operator I know has a moment where things, got real, or a deal that went sideways, or a time that you had to pivot fast. Do you mind sharing one of those moments with us?
Yeah, I mean, that's how, I've got battle scars just like anybody else, right? And so, there's all different types of examples. We've gone through fires. We've gone through hurricanes. We've gone through natural events too. And so you learn real quick how to deal with insurance. You learn real quick that, your construction management that we have in house may or may not be adequate to do all the things that we need to do to a property. One of the things that you and I were talking about earlier is we've also acquired assets in that 21 and 22 time frame, right? Where we're fortunate the way that we've with our strategy, we were able to kind of weather the storm, but we did acquire assets at a higher price point than where things are trading even today. And so there's still going to be things that we're going to have to work through to where we're going to have to out operate, a lot of our competitors really just to get to, some kind of base level returns for those investors. And that's a natural cycle of the market too. We are consistently buying in the market, and when there's ups and downs in the market, you still want to be in the market. So
Sure. It's incredible how the moments that you feel like are a disaster in real time often become the foundation of the next 10 years of growth. So taking a negative
yeah, it's
and
so
trans
funny you say that. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that because the very first deal I ever did, which was, I want to say in 2007, so it was a minute ago now, where it was about a 100-unit apartment complex, and we bought it and closed in August, right? Gosh, this was a while ago. And the very next month, a hurricane came through and destroyed the property. And when I say destroyed the property, we went from 100% leased to 12% leased overnight. And you quickly learn some things when you do that, right? You learn that as a landlord in the great state of Texas, you're still required to provide housing to your residents because they have a contractual lease with you. So you got to go find homes now for all these people, or housing for all these people. You also learn real quick how great insurance can be. right? And you better have it in place and the and appropriate levels of it in place.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
But then you really learn who your partners are with third party contractors and things like that, who can actually help you get back in, into a rhythm or into line with the property that you have. And so, yeah, I mean, it was literally the very first deal that I was a part of and of a large scale. And it was one of those things where the learning curve was tremendous. The swings of, "Oh my gosh, did we just lose everything?" to, "Oh my gosh, insurance is gonna help make it better," to, "Oh my gosh, what do we gotta do with all these residents in the time frame?" to I mean, it was an up and down, and the learning curve is tremendous, and, you get some battle scars, like I said, from some of that stuff.
And the folks that can rebound strongly, that separates the people that just dabble, for instance, that maybe aren't able to rebound as quickly from the investors who actually have the staying power to weather the cycles that you just described. Let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next?
Yeah, for us, it's, so much of what we do is operations too, because we're fully vertically integrated. So we have in-house property management, we have in-house asset management, we have in-house construction management, we have in-house accounting. So there's a lot of things that we do where we're really controlling, the investment from, start to finish. And, it's kind of interesting in our world. Property management is going to be something that we are continually trying to improve on. It's one of those things you can always improve on, and you can always upgrade your people. You can always upgrade, your processes and your systems. And that's one of the things that I'm actually really proud of. What we've come a long way. So even in the last 12 months with how we're operating, and you can see it in the numbers. And that's the beauty on the asset management side. You can actually see, oh wow, processes that are coming in, and look at what that's done, over a 3, 6, 9 month period to the numbers on the portfolio as a whole, or even an individual property. And so, from a focus standpoint, personally, I'm still looking for those deals that are gonna help, fit our buy box and actually fit where our teams are. And really a lot of focus is on how do I continue to get the strong returns that our investors expect, in a market where it's hard to find yield. It's hard to find, that delta. And so you gotta look at a lot of deals to be able to do that. So we've closed one deal this year, and it was actually last week, but we probably looked at 150 just to get to that point. So it takes a lot of work to actually get to the point of actually getting one in, to where investors can actually see the benefit associated with it.
But that tangible evidence is so uplifting. And congratulations on that deal.
Thank you very much.
What's the next real goal for you?
Yeah, our goal this year was to close about 200 to $250 million in assets, and really that would have been, call it that one a quarter type aspect. And as smooth as that would just work out for everybody, it never happens that way. And really, there has to be availability of the product, and we have to then be able to win the product. And we've been made the bridesmaid on deals, a tremendous amount of times in the last 18 months, I'd call it. Um, but we're just, it's for us, it's going to be just continue to find that next deal, continue to level up on our management side, and continue to provide the great returns that our investors expect.
And that next move is where the leverage lives. It can either perfect your operation, Sam, or detonate your workflow, depending on how you strategize it and how you deploy it.
Yeah, exactly. And so the beauty of that is we're not forced to go out and buy another deal right now. And so, as soon as we close one, and the focus is, all right, hey, all the due diligence, we did it. Let's go ahead and start executing the business plan. And, that first 30, 60, 90 days is kind of critical to all that stuff to put us on that right trajectory. but then it's, okay, what next? Right. And, when we have that downtime, you could see there's a lot of tinkering that goes on. And we try a lot of things too, whether it be in the marketing side, whether it be on, hey, let's see if the residents take well to this. And
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
there's a lot of that that goes on during those lull periods. But there's really everybody's working, right? And so, we do educational things for our investors in that time frame. We have meetups and things of that nature. And so nobody isn't touched on a fairly consistent basis. And we put out newsletters about every 2 weeks, so we're updating the base pretty fairly often. They get, for those investors in the deals, they're seeing information every single month on the property, and they're getting to see the progression of the investment, which is great.
On a little bit of a different note, interested to know, how do you maintain your edge when things are going well? It's easy to grind when you're broke, but how do you stay hungry when you're successful?
I Man, I get up every day, live, breathe, and eat this stuff. I mean, this is what I want to do. I'm kind of the old guy at the office, and I don't ever see myself stopping. It's one of those things where this is what I do. I mean, it's literally become a part of what I do. And I wouldn't say it's my identity, but it is absolutely something that I wake up so happy to get to do each and every day, and get to work with the people I get to work with, and get to help. You have to understand too. I mean, we're providing housing right now for just under 6,000. We have just under 6,000 units. So we have 6,000 families effectively we're providing housing for. Like we're providing a basic living service for these people. And man, what an honorable thing to be a part of. What an honorable thing to get to do each and every day. And, I don't want to, oversell it like it's just that amazing, but it is something that we get to be an important part of, these people's lives, because their home is their home. And I love the fact that we can continue to take care of these things and make them better, and, hopefully spread a little joy to that world that way. And so it's as much of a mission thing for me as it is a job, right?
Absolutely. And that positive impact that you're providing the families, that has to be satisfying. Now, I
Absolutely.
know a
So who
lot of
wouldn't wanna
our
keep doing something like that, right? Who wouldn't wanna
you
keep
can
doing
tell
that?
your
That's great to be
passion.
a part of.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
A lot of our audience, Sam, is either earlier in their journey or looking to level up in some fashion. I think they'd benefit from hearing this from you. Words of wisdom, if you will. When it comes to building relationships and growing your network, what's been the biggest difference for you?
Yeah, so I'm a bit old school, right? And so, I got the gray hairs, and, when I started, we didn't have social media or those kinds of things. And so I was a handshake guy. I was a pick up the phone and call you and talk to you kind of guy, and actually learn who you are to develop that relationship. And that's how we built the business. I mean, we did it one person at a time that way. Even when we were raising money, I tell people I've been raising money since before it was cool. But in 2012, everything really kind of changed, because that's when the Jobs Act passed. And when that happened, people were able to go onto social media, and everybody screamed from the roof, "Come invest with me." But before that too, you really did have to have a truly substantial relationship, as the SEC requires you to do. And you really had to know who you were investing with. You had to know what their needs were, and make sure that you were putting them into the right investment if that's what they wanted. And so, there's nothing that beats kind of the old school way of things. Now, saying that though, I know a lot of people can reach a lot more people via social and things. I'm not as prevalent with that. A lot of people on our team are, in our company for sure it is. But when it comes to, actually, trying to meet that next person or to find that next partner or to, see that next opportunity, the physical aspect of things is huge because if you can get there, look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, they know you're real, you're going to get a better sense of who that person is, what their expectations are, if they can be a partner with you versus just seeing them on social or just texting, things like that. I think the in-person connection is something that gets so overlooked in pretty much all aspects of business that you just got to do it. And no matter where you are, there are meetups. There are all kinds of events that go on, and you just want to be in the room. Just get in the room with a lot of these people, and it can change the trajectory of where you're going in the business.
Absolutely. That personal touch that you alluded to is so critical and sometimes overlooked. That hits
Absolutely.
home. In an industry that is so transactional, being the person who actually shows up when there isn't a deal on the table, Sam, is what creates that competitive edge around your business. It's that, I guess, unsexy consistency that most people aren't willing to do.
Yeah, we call it blocking and tackling, because it's just the basics, right? And so, like I was said, we're hosting it's an investor event that we're doing next week at one of our properties, and all we're doing is presenting some education, right? So we're actually educating the investors that are coming there on certain things as it relates to value add, investing in multifamily. There's no sales pitch. There's nothing. I mean, we don't have anything to sell. I'm not raising money for a deal. This is truly for them and to hopefully add value to them. And if they're going to, I hope they use it, whether they invest with me or somebody else and learn from it. And it's truly a give. And so, just excited to continue to engage with the community that way. Because when we do have something too, and we're able to present that opportunity, if it works for them at that time, we would hope that, we would be a good outlet for them to be able to invest that way. And so, but there's a lot of, things that we do like that, I would say fairly consistently, each and every month.
Sure. And you did touch on evolving. And on that note, as you evolve, what does your tech stack look like right now? Is there one piece of software or perhaps in this world AI now that has actually moved the needle for your team?
Yeah, it's so funny you say that because we still do quite a bit of manual underwriting. So when we underwrite deals, a lot of it's still manual, and that's kind of old school too. Both myself and Brad, and um, even with some of our asset managers, because of how specific each property is and how specific each submarket is, there's AI tools that are out there for that kind of stuff. We do use, on the management side, we use Elise AI, which I mean our team raves about because you can call in at 2 in the morning and Elise AI can schedule an appointment for a tour later that afternoon if there's availability. I mean, so there's definitely some aspects to the business that AI is making us more efficient with. But when it comes to things that I use from an AI perspective, I'm so old school. Like I'll use the Chat GPT. Hey, find me something in this area or whatever it is for that help. But when it comes to the business, we do have some functions. It's just they're not as prevalent as most would think right now.
I, for one, can appreciate your principles and not straying from them. All right, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out, Sam, connect with you, maybe collaborate or learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way that they can reach you?
Yeah, our website is lscre.com. And that has a world of information there. My personal email is sam@lscre.com. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And I love to connect and collaborate with people and hear what's going on in their world.
Perfect. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, your story, and definitely your perspective. We need more people in the space who are doing it the right way. Thanks again for being here. And for those of
Thanks,
you
Scott. Really
tuning
appreciate it.
in, yes, it's been our pleasure. It really has. For those of you that are tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more conversations coming up with operators just like Sam, who are out there building real businesses. We'll see you in the next episode, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.